The highest possible compliment I can give first-time writer-director Sam Hayes is that, with his feature Pools, he has managed to channel the late, great John Hughes and crafted a modern-day Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and he managed to do it in his own style. Kudos. Hey, I'm Mike. I studied film, I work in TV, and if you love movies as much as I do, hit that subscribe button and get notified when new content's posted. I'm not comparing Sam Hayes to John Hughes simply because Pools takes place in the Chicago area. It does. No, I'm comparing Pools to John Hughes because it properly captures the pull of adulthood within the confines of childhood. No one knew how to write and direct coming-of-age movies better than John Hughes. It just so happens Hughes set those films in the suburbs of Chicago, where Pools takes place. Pools, written and directed by newcomer Sam Hayes, is set in the same bougie surroundings and find the characters confronting the same transition from a coddled life into the real world. Go to college, get a job, join the system. Why are we doing this? In that sense, Pools is in the same company as Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Breakfast Club, and even The Graduate and Lady Bird. I know, I'm making some big comparisons here. Again, not a compliment I throw around lightly. But among all this, Hayes manages to bring his own sensibilities to admittedly well-worn territory. This is where I have to tell you that if you're expecting Ferris Bueller's Day Off, don't. The dialogue in Pools is quirky at times, snappy and direct. Early in the film, there's a scene between two of the characters across the school's quad. It's not an across-the-quad conversation. It's the type of conversation that should have happened in close quarters. But placing it across the quad goes a long way to show us what kind of film this is going to be. Hayes also uses zoom lenses for many of his shots. Mostly in the first half of the film when he's world-building, Hayes crash zooms in on characters and moments, much like Mike Nichols did in The Graduate. You don't see too many zooms in theatrical films. Most movies are shot on prime lenses. Most of what you think are zooms in movies are actually dolly moves in, and if the camera does zoom, it's often slow and controlled. I can do an entire video on why zoom lenses are considered inferior to primes. The short story is, most traditional DPs prefer primes. Using a zoom lens tells us immediately that this is not going to be an ordinary movie. I enjoyed what Hayes was doing in that it added to that feeling of jumping into a cold pool for the first time. It created a disorienting feeling right at the top of the film. And then once you get used to it, things tended to level out. The snappy dialogue and quirky camera movements seemed to tone down as the movie became more internalized and began to focus on the characters' troubles. Pools stars Odessa Azion, fresh off her role from Marty Supreme, as Kennedy, a college student who stayed on campus over the summer to take a few classes in an attempt to retain her scholarship. It seems that Kennedy was a good student until her father died suddenly, throwing her off track. In one last night before buckling down and forcing herself to get serious about school, she recruits a ragtag group of people to go pool hopping. Pool hopping is a popular pastime in the suburbs which I know absolutely nothing about. You can't prove anything. I grew up Gen X and there was no photographic proof. Thank God. Oh, hey, let's talk about the cast. In addition to Odessa Azion, Pools also features a veritable who's who of young Hollywood, starting with Ariel Winter, who played Alex Dunphy on Modern Family. It also stars Mason Gooding, who in addition to being the son of Oscar winner Cuba Gooding Jr., also had roles in Ballers and the Scream movies, Tyler Alvarez, who starred in the Netflix mockumentary American Vandal, and Michael Vlamis from the CW's Roswell, New Mexico. The acting is off the charts. I couldn't find out budget information, but it's not a big budget movie. Hayes is doing a lot with very little. It makes me wonder how he assembled this cast. It's really well done. Speaking of that, I have to talk about the music. Pools has a soundtrack from singer-songwriter Cody Fry, a childhood friend of Hayes. Fry wrote an original song for Pools, and Azion herself wrote and performed 2 original songs for the film. The music is very good. Pools is available to stream on Letterboxd's new video store platform for $8.99, and let me tell you, it'll be the best $8.99 you'll ever spend. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Pools. I'd love to read yours in the comments below. As always, film is about community. I'm Mike, and I love movies.